Music is one of, if not the most important aspects when making a film. A lot of the times it feels like a character itself, and often helps tell and elevate the story as it unfolds on screen. But today, I want to talk about one particular individual who knows a thing or two about crafting such film scores, and knows just how important music can be when trying to tell a story, and that is John Williams. You may have heard a thing or two from him, for instance... along with and you know, that one, oh, what is it? Well, you get the idea. But the one film scored by Williams would not be as praised and remembered for what it was if it had not been for its music. And that is the film we will be evaluating today. This is Steven Spielberg's 1975 classic, Jaws: How Music Makes a Movie. Often regarded as one of the greatest films of all time, and the film that put Steven Spielberg on the map at the start of his Hollywood career, but what some may not know is just how difficult the film was to make. They continuously went over budget, went past the shooting schedule, and all of this boiled down to one major factor. The mechanical shark used in the film, nicknamed Bruce, would constantly break down, malfunction, and overall just create more problems than solve them. What was supposed to be the star of the picture turned into a nightmare for everyone involved. On top of all of this, they are filming out on the open Atlantic Ocean, so you could imagine the hassle if something went wrong.
There were all these radio mics all over the island. The universal radio mics. So wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio mics. And they were always saying, "The shark is not working. The shark is not working. Repeat, the shark is not working." No matter where you were, and for months.
We just waited around. We just waited and waited and waited. And I remember every day, about the 50th or 60th day of shooting, the crew would come over to me and they'd all ask me during the day, when are we going to be done with this movie? And I would honestly say to them, with complete sympathy for the question, I don't know. I don't know when we're going to finish this movie. We could finish it if I get fired and dragged off the movie, then somebody else could come in and finish it quickly. Maybe they'll shut us down.
In the end, Spielberg was left with little footage of the shark and needed to find a new way to inform the audience that the shark was there, despite it not being visible on screen. But his problems would be solved in the form of Williams' iconic score. Let's take another look at that opening scene. On the surface, this seems like a standard underwater shot, capturing the young woman swimming, but it is actually the POV of the shark. And how do we know this? Because the music acts as a signal to inform us that the shark is there. The combination of Spielberg's direction and Williams' music is so simplistic yet extremely effective at building tension. The thought of not being able to see a large predator that could potentially kill you and only hearing a loud, ominous score makes the audience's imagination spiral and only builds on the established tension. No scene does this better than the next one we are about to see. Let's break it down together, shall we? First thing we hear is the music, to inform us that the shark is there. But it starts off slow, because we know that the men on the pier are still in a safe position. As the pier gives way and one of the men is getting dragged further away from dry land, the music starts to pick up, highlighting the increased risk the man is now facing. But it starts slowly fading away, almost tricking the audience into thinking the shark is leaving, but unfortunately for him, that isn't the case. As the audience now knows he is in the most vulnerable position there is, the music grows louder and more sinister.
Charlie, take my word for it! Don't look back! Swim, Charlie! Swim! Come on, Charlie! Swim! Swim, Charlie! Come on! To me, boy!
Amping up the established tension as the shark now fully stalks its prey.
Keep swimming, Charlie! Come on, a little more, Charlie! Attaboy! To me, Charlie! Attaboy! Attaboy! I can't get up! I can't give me a hand! I can't get up! Come on, Charlie! Help me! Come on, Charlie! Help me! Get your feet out of the water! Get your feet up! Attaboy! Attaboy, Charlie!
One thing that often gets forgotten is how the shark is finally revealed, but with no musical build-up whatsoever. A clever placement of when the music should or should not be heard by Williams.
Slow ahead. I can go slow ahead. Come on down and chum some of this shit.
There were opportunities in the movie to advertise the shark with the music, and also opportunities when we don't have the music and the audience has a sense of an absence. They sense the absence of the shark because they don't hear the thump-thump, because we've conditioned them to do that. But then you may go one step further, and we know now that the shark really is there, but we haven't advertised it with music, so his attack comes out of silence. And now, because you've been conditioned to have the music every time when you don't, and the shark arrives, it's even more terrifying.
I think the score was clearly responsible for half the success of that movie.
In the end, Jaws would go on to win 3 of its 4 Academy Award nominations, with Williams winning Best Original Score in the process. Williams and Spielberg continue to make films to this day, and though Jaws was only their second ever collaboration together, it is considered by many to this day to be their best. Jaws remains to be one of, if not the best examples of just what music can do to help make a movie.